Another live episode of Finding the Seams. That is the Reverend Brendan Haywood. I'm Rick Bucher. And I'm always thrown a little off because right before the show, Brendan will throw something at me right before we hit the go button, hit the red light. And so what you were complaining because I hit you back late in the evening. Is that it?
No,
See, we're working in two different time zones. So
we are, but you got to understand listen, when I'm giving you this good game information now, you're my bro, you're my boy. I need my boy to hit me back. Like, when we discussing stuff in the game, it's like I'm talking to one of my friends. It's like, oh man, you see this?
I got you.
Crickets until the next day, my boy. Man, listen, I know you up watching the game. You better hit me back.
You got it. Fair enough.
I ain't asking for a FaceTime call. The rest of your family might be asleep. Hell, my family was asleep. That was great games. I had to wake them all up.
I got you. But by the way, I thought at one point I went out and hit golf balls. I had to come back and catch up on the game because the way the second half started, I was like, okay, they've got this.
Right.
And then fourth quarter, when it got to 15, I went, oh, we got a game. Mm-hmm. And I did not like where the Spurs were. So for all of you, we're discussing Game 4, won by the Knicks in dramatic fashion. Still hard for me to believe that they came back from 29 points down. Biggest comeback in NBA history. Let me ask you this since I started here. Where do you think the downfall for the Spurs started? As you look back now.
As I look back now, I think it started when they started. New York was going on that run. They just kept taking all those threes. And I was like, I understand the mindset of the player. Oh, we were hitting them same shots in the first half.
Yep.
So it's got to be good enough for us in the second half. But you got to understand time and score. You got to understand momentum. I'll give you a quick story. I'm playing for the Washington Wizards. We're playing the Spurs. We go on like a quick 8-10-0 run. Tim Duncan takes a mid-range jumper that's contested by me, and Pop rips him a new one. He said, man, you think we need that shot right now while they on a 10-0 run? We need to get a good shot. That's what the Spurs didn't realize. Yeah. Hey, man, this team's on a run. We might not need that contested three. Yep. We need a good shot. We need a shot in the rim. We need a shot right at the rim. We need a shot right in the paint. We need a shot that where at least somebody got 2 feet in the paint, all the Knicks surrounded them, and then we sprayed it out to the perimeter and got a wide open three where we had all day to shoot it. We needed to get somebody to get to the free throw line and get us 2 free throws. Yep. Do something to help us get out of this funk. And so that was the first thing that I saw. And then as the game wore on, I saw a young team and I saw a young coaching staff. That's what I see.
Yep. I can point to one specific possession, and I wish I'd written it down and I had the exact time, but you'll remember it. It was a possession where Wemby took 2 threes and missed them both. Took the first one, and I was like, you really don't want to take that. And then they got the offensive rebound. And I was like, okay, you got a second chance. And then he took another one. And I was like, you are setting the wrong template for where this game is. And to your point, there was a little stretch late in the third quarter where Castle got to the line. I think Dylan Harper got to the line. I was like, okay, they're settling down. They're going to be okay. But they didn't stay with that. And there was just like, I said it before, even in the game that they won, there's times where they're just like, you don't have to be rushed, but you have to play with a certain energy or urgency when you come down to attack, even in the half court. And I felt like there was too many times where they're letting 8-9 seconds bleed off the clock before you even see any motion. The play where Dylan Harper gets pinned against the midcourt line, right? If you go back and watch that, no, he's in trouble. There's nobody moving. Everybody's looking for him to make some hero pass in order to save himself. That to me was just a microcosm of where the Spurs were. They got to a point where mentally it looked like they said to themselves, this lead is too big for them to come back on. No matter what happens, it's too big for them to come back on.
I think this team is a team of the future. And truthfully, I know you're going to hate this. I'm still going to leave the door open. But what I see in this series, this is a young team that really need a veteran coach.
Yeah.
And I think Mitch is going to eventually grow into that, and they're going to be fine. But a veteran coach in this, if they had Greg Popovich in this series,
yeah, it's over.
They might have won 4-0. I've actually never watched an NBA Finals where I thought the team that was down 3-1 could really be up 4-0, and we could be like at their parade right now.
True.
And that is the situation where there's going to be people. I've seen some people talk, oh man, the Spurs got to do this on defense. Their defense is fine. Like like you text me in the first half, I don't know what's more impressive, their offense or their defense. My response, both.
Yeah.
Like their problem is when they get into certain moments of the game, especially late, the Knicks are outplaying them. We saw that the first two games in San Antonio. We saw the turnover by Wemby combined with the foul. We saw Jalen Brunson making good plays down the stretch of game one. Like, we saw all that. Mm-hmm. And even in this game, down the stretch, there's no box out on OG Anunoby. De'Aaron Fox, for some reason that I still can't figure out, instead of dribbling out the clock, tries to challenge OG Anunoby, one of the best players in the league, for a layup. Like, it's just so many little things. It's like when they go back and look at the film, it's like, if not 4-0, we should be up at least 3-1. But we have been having brain fart after brain fart in the most crucial times of the games. And like their average age is 25. And in the last 5 minutes of these ball games, they look like a team whose average age is 25.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, the De'Aaron Fox decisions down the stretch. And what do you make of them staying with him and not like what?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Hold on. I sent you when you did respond to me, it was because I sent you this stat. The Spurs are 11.9 points per 100% possessions better in the NBA Finals when Victor Wembanyama plays alongside of Harper, as opposed to De'Aaron Fox. All that's telling you is what our eyes have seen from the jump. From the moment Harper checked in game one, he's been probably their best guard. And I know he's young. I know Fox is the vet. But if you're going to win and you're going to shock the world and come back, you're going to have to take the training wheels off. I'm not saying bench Fox, but Harper might need more playing time than Fox. Because I think the Harper pick and roll, especially if you target Brunson, is the way that you get back in this series. The Harper-Wemby pick and roll is lights out, unstoppable.
The fact that you still are leaving the door open, to me says, and you can tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong, that you without question believe San Antonio is the better team.
Without a doubt. And listen, let's not forget where we were at the beginning of this series. San Antonio was one of the biggest favorites in NBA history. They had a Vegas. Hey, listen, this ain't Brendan Haywood. I don't bet. Okay, I ain't Terry Rozier. Like, at the end of the day, they were 60% favored to win in this series.
Yeah.
So that's huge for an NBA Finals. You know that, Rick. So everybody thought they were the best team.
Yeah.
They have a great player in Victor Wembanyama, generational. They have the league's best defense. They have the best six man in the league, and they might have two of the best six men in the league. Like, everything about this San Antonio Spurs team said this was supposed to be their coming out party. And it's been anything but that. It has been them getting exposed for being a young team and exposed for having a young coaching staff.
Yeah, but this is the one thing that they don't have that I think undermines all of that, which is you're putting the ball in the hands of De'Aaron Fox with the game on the line.
Why?
And he's been to the playoffs one time.
Why? Exactly. Why? Like, it's not like De'Aaron Fox is what Chris Paul was when he was on the Phoenix Suns. When it's like, okay, I understand why they're giving this guy the ball. He has 7, 8, 9 years worth of playoff experience. Yeah. Man, the man he's been to 2, but before these playoffs, he had played in 2 playoff series. Maybe 1. Did they? No, they won the first round against, and then they lost to Golden State, or they lose the first round?
I believe that was the year that they beat Golden State. I'll double check that.
No,
I know but he's only been there once.
They lost to Golden State.
Well, one year they were supposed to win, and
they lost. 2 years. They lost to Golden State.
Yes, one year they did. I thought one year they beat them.
I don't remember. All I know is they don't have a lot of veteran players on the court, and the one guy that's supposed to be their vet has not been playing well and has had a lot of bonehead plays himself.
Yeah. No, I take it back.
They lost.
That was the year they lost. So he's only played in 1 playoff round.
It shows. Yeah. The experience shows. Like,
but they're going to him by default. With Chris Paul, it's like this guy has the experience. We know he can lead him there. I feel as if San Antonio is going to De'Aaron Fox because they look around and they go, nobody else has more experience. I mean, as little experience as he has, he's been around the most, and you would think that he would be the most cerebral or have the highest basketball IQ. But I like the lack of awareness on that last possession. And it's one thing if it's a bang bang play, but the ball's out, you're chasing it down, like you got all the time in the world to realize, one, I'm not scoring here. I'm not scoring here. I'm not getting fouled. Like, get it, pull it out. We're up 1. And it's, what kills me is I coached an AAU team once, and my best player did this exact same thing.
I hope he made it.
What's that?
I hope he made it.
He did not. And we didn't pay the price in this case, but it was the same thing. It was like, why are you going to the cup to score? Like I pulled my hair out.
I'm going to tell you what would have happened had De'Aaron Fox pulled. So when De'Aaron Fox got that ball, he should have been looking to get the layup. But once he saw OG Anunoby, he's supposed to take 2 dribbles out, which would have taken another maybe 1 to 3 seconds off the clock, depending on how quickly OG Anunoby got there. Now we're under 10 seconds. De'Aaron Fox is a 75 to 80% free throw shooter. You're thinking that he's going to hit both of them, but he's at least going to hit 1.
Sure.
But if he hits both free throws, because it's going to be under 10 seconds, now San Antonio is playing the free throw game. Soon as the Spurs get it in bounds, foul them and make them shoot 2, and we're not going to let them shoot a 3. And there is a super strong chance the Spurs go back to San Antonio with all the momentum up. Yep. Not up, with the series tied. Yep. And I just don't understand what De'Aaron Fox was thinking. I haven't understood a lot of his decision-making. And that is why, if I'm on the Spurs coaching staff, if I'm in the back of the room when we're watching film, I'm going to raise my hand and say, hey, Mitch, it's time. And he's going, time for what? It's time to release the Kraken. The Kraken? Yeah. It's time to release Harper. We're going to turn this kid's usage up. We're going to tell him it's your time. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging with my best player. And Harper, he's been one of your best players in these playoffs. He's been one of your best players in these finals. And we know he's the future instead of De'Aaron Fox. I'm going to tell Mitch, it's time. It's Harper time. Listen, we've already fumbled enough games. We're going to live and die with the Harper pick and roll. Harper, Wemby, pick and roll. We're going to target Brunson. We're going to target Cat. And we're going to get everything off of that. And Wemby, listen, while we're here, I don't want to see 9 or 8 threes out of you ever again for the rest of these finals. I don't want to see it. I want to see what you did in game 3. I want you to do that over and over again. Roll, stay at the front of the rim, because just you staying at the front of the rim makes 2 people stay with you. That's how Vassell gets an easy shot. That's how Champagnie gets an easy shot. These are the things that I'm telling my young guys. Hey, I know, Wemby. I know you can dribble. I know you've gone to see Jamal Crawford for the tween behind the back, but I ain't got time for tween behind the back right now. I need dunks. I need 7-5 at the front of the rim. Boom, in your living room. That's what I need. And if you ain't about that, then you ain't about winning.
I'm wondering if you saw the same thing I did, which is after they called the flagrant foul on him, which was legit, unfortunate. I don't think it was intentional. Fact is, clipped him with the elbow on the swim move, and you have to get a flagrant. I felt as if he was a different Victor Wembanyama, that he was not playing with the same ferocity and force that he did at the beginning of the year when he was letting Mitchell Robinson know that he was in his head. For whatever reason, I don't know whether it was, man, I can't afford to get another one, or man, I got him good and I really didn't mean to, or whatever it was. It felt as if it changed Wemby's demeanor for the rest of that game. Did you get that feeling, or do you think that was the cause, or it was coincidental because he didn't feel like the same guy down the stretch that he was in the first 2.5 quarters?
I don't know if it was that play. I don't know if it was the moment. I don't know if it was momentum shifting, because in a game like that where you're up 30, I'm gonna tell you what goes through a player's, how a player feels. When you go up 30, it feels easy. Everybody's relaxed. Everybody's feeling good, right? And then next thing you know, as that team slowly but surely chips away at that lead, everybody gets a little tighter. And now you start thinking a little bit more than you were before, because it was, hey, what they say, it was all good just a week ago. It was all good just 5 minutes ago. And we were feeling good. We were in the timeout, bouncing to the songs, feeling great. I'm in your head, boy. You were having a good time. And now all of a sudden, a 30-point lead is gone to 22. It's gone to 18. It's gone to 15. It's 10. It's 14. And sometimes in those moments, guys naturally get tight. It is a natural human emotion.
At what point, when you're up by 29, and I don't know if there's a number, most people look at least for the team that's trying to come from behind, let's get it to single digits. I think there's a psychological shift there. But for the team that's ahead, is there a point where when that dwindles to a certain number that your mindset changes, where the first shows up? Where is that?
The first shows up when it goes under 10.
Okay. So not before that.
Well, there's some minutes before that. Like, obviously, if you were up 30 and it gets to 15.
Yeah. Okay.
But when you're up 15, guys still feel comfortable. You swing it to me. I got a 15-point cushion.
I will say, with the three-pointer being the way it is, and I said it to myself, as soon as it got to 15, I go, we got a game.
Yeah.
And you could see the demeanor of the Knicks change. Like,
but here's
the
thing. If I'm a role player, and you swing it to me, and I'm up 15, I know you've cut the lead down, but I still feel good. I don't feel as much pressure.
Yeah.
But if that thing is at 8, Now, hey, listen. Listen. Now,
if you swing a good shot, how much is left on the shot clock?
Hey, that basketball starts feeling like a medicine ball. It's a little heavy. Rick, it's heavy. So, now you start feeling the pressure, and that's all. And honestly, from the other side, 10 is always the number that your coach is when you're down big. That's always the number that you're trying to reach at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to you. I gave it to you. What happens if you're San Antonio? I'm gonna tell you what the Knicks are talking about in the huddle. They're down 30. Your coach, first of all, he's probably gonna give you a cliche line like, "Hey guys, there's no such thing as a 30-point shot. What we want to do is by the next timeout, we want to have this lead cut down by 8 to 9. Then when you do that, you come to the timeout. Okay, guys, we're still down 20, but we're right where we need to be. Hey, heading into the fourth quarter, we want to get this thing under 15. We've been down under 15 before, so we can do that. You start chopping it down. Then you get in the beginning of the fourth quarter, hey, next time out, let's get it to 10. Once you get it there, hey man, it's anybody's ball game now. Let's go win it. And because you start achieving all those goals, everybody on that side, they start believing. They start feeling it. It's the momentum. We got this. And on the other side, all the pressure is mounting on the back of their necks. And that's exactly what happened. And down the stretch of that game, it was Knicks making big shots, Spurs missing shots, Spurs taking bad shots, Spurs taking shots they shouldn't take, non-box outs, sometimes bad closeouts. It was a lot. There were so many different ways that I can point to of how they lost that game. Like, no matter what, if I was on a talk show this morning and someone said, "Hey, Brendan, why do you think they won the game?" I'd be like, "Yo, what you think is going to get them? Why do you think they lost the game? What you think is going to get the most ratings?" Because I can literally give you 4 to 5 things.
Yeah,
you want to go to Wemby angle? We can do that. You want to go De'Aaron Fox? We can do that. Coaching staff? I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can even talk. Like, I can talk about execution. I can talk about whatever you want to. But down the stretch, the Spurs crumbled worse than any team in recent memory.
Yeah. Collectively.
Yes. It's not. I know today it's going to be fun to poke at De'Aaron Fox, but it ain't just him.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But that said, the not dribbling out the clock.
Yep.
And the play that I really didn't understand at the end was with OG Anunoby. Because De'Aaron was on Anunoby at the start of that play.
Yep.
And ran over to trap Jalen Brunson at 28 feet.
With Wemby on him.
With Wemby on him. I did not understand that.
Well, hold on.
What are the chances that was Mitch's call, and what are the chances that De'Aaron was just reacting in the moment?
That's a great question. That I don't know. Because what it looked like was De'Aaron Fox was loading up on Jalen Brunson because he didn't go all the way to double. That's why Jalen took the deep three. When he got the matchup with Wemby, he looked and he was going to try to drive. And then he saw Fox there, so he pulled. And when he pulled up, because Fox was looking at Brunson, he never saw OG until it was too late. And I don't know if the coverage was the load up or if Fox went and did it on his own. Because everybody knows the most dangerous person on a play like that is the inbounder.
Yes.
A lot of time it's because you get the inbound pass right back, but the inbounds man is probably the most dangerous. So I don't know what the play call was, but I will say this. We saw that exact same thing happen on the flip side to the Knicks. They're loading up on a Fox dribble. Josh Hart, all eyes on the dribbler. Shot goes up. Castle slides behind him for the rebound.
Yep.
Once again, I'm going to give you something that happens in the game. When you get to late in ball games and those shots go up, all your coaches tell you to play through it and this, that, and the third. It is so hard not to ball watch because it feels like the game is in slow motion. That shot goes up, and I know I'm supposed to turn and go box out, but the first thing I do is I look up.
Yeah.
Is it online? Is it close? That little bit right there, the guy you're supposed to box out is by you. He's at the rim. And you see it all the time. I've lived it.
Yep.
In that moment, the game slows down. It's almost like a scene from a movie. Boom, 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 boom. Like you feel your heart beating. You're looking at the shot, but you ain't supposed to be looking at the shot. You're supposed to be looking at your man. And that's what happened.
I'm glad you shared that because I think for most of us, anybody who's played, the first thing is shot goes up, find a body, put your body on somebody, right? And Dylan Harper didn't do it. De'Aaron Fox was in no man's land. I mean, he couldn't have got back to OG if he wanted to. That's what I didn't understand was why are you trapping or thinking you're going to double Jalen Brunson 28 feet away? If that was Mitch's idea, that's a really bad idea. If De'Aaron did it on his own, that's a really bad idea. You're not going to affect that play by or affect Jalen Brunson by doing that. And meanwhile, you're giving a free run to arguably the best player in that game. Like Jalen Brunson had his best game, but to me, not just for the last play, OG Anunoby has, I think, arguably over the 4 games, has been their best player. Is there? I don't even think that that's a debate.
If OG plays well and they win Game 5, he gonna get MVP.
As he should.
He gonna get MVP.
You know what's funny is there's been when the Knicks signed him to that big contract, and when he was with Toronto and he was leaving, everybody that I talked to was like, OG thinks he's a star. Like OG does not think of himself as being even the second wheel or the third wheel. He thinks he's the guy. And a lot of people thought he was overestimating his abilities. He's demonstrating in real time on the NBA final stage that what he thought of himself was justified based on the way he is playing in this series.
And I'm so glad you brought that up because so many NBA front office miss this. Sometimes there's guys that they feel that they should be the number one option, or they're the number 3 and they feel like they should be the number 2. And there's some front offices that be like, oh, why does he feel like that? You want your guy to feel like that. You need a guy that sometimes has a little bit of rational confidence. Now, you don't need that mixed with a bad basketball IQ, but you need a guy that's sitting there like, kind of like Jalen Brown for Boston. He was watching Tatum for all them years like, I can do that.
Yep.
And when it came time a couple years ago, he was the finals MVP because he always had that irrational confidence. And you need irrational confidence when you're down 30. It's the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals. You're down 14, and you need a guy to just make plays, and he ain't worried about nobody. I can drive it, I can shoot it, I can defend. OG Anunoby don't feel that there's not a part of this game that he can't affect in an elite level, and I tend to believe him. I'm not mad when a player has irrational confidence. The best players, what sets them apart, the good from the great, irrational confidence.
Yep.
Kobe had irrational confidence. Like, I've literally seen Kobe shoot the ball over 3 people, and his teammate came to him and said, hey, dog, you had 3 on you. Make that pass. He's like, man, they wanted me to pass the ball to you. I can hit that shot in my sleep. But there's 3 on me. Nobody's boxing you out. Get it off the glass. And, like, it's the irrational confidence that Kobe believed, 3 people on me, that ain't enough. You wide open, that's what they want. Buckets. Like, that's how we felt. Irrational confidence.
Have I ever told you? I don't know if I've told you the story when he shot all the air balls against Utah as a young fella, right? And everybody was crushing him. And I'd gotten to know him a bit already. And I also thought it was impressive that a young guy had the fearlessness to shoot an air ball. I'm going to shoot another one.
Right.
I shot another air ball. I'm going to shoot another one. Like that what you're calling irrational confidence. And I looked at his ability and that confidence, and I knew he was going to be a good one. And so he was just getting killed. And I also felt for him because he was a young guy on a veteran team, and I knew how much Shaq would abuse him. Like, Shaq liked to punk him a bit. And so I went up to him after that, and I went, hey, man, I just want you to know, I believe in you. Like, you're going to come through this. And he looked at me, he was like, I'd take every one of those again. Like, he was not cowed or bothered at all by all of the criticism. Like, this dude thinks he's Jordan and he's not this and he's not that. And that's where I was like, man, he's got it. He's got it all.
And you got to have irrational confidence. And when you look at the Knicks team, OG has irrational confidence. Jalen Brunson has irrational confidence. Don't matter what type of game Jalen Brunson's having, good or bad. You can't even tell by his mannerisms. And those players believing what they believe, playing the way they play, is the main reason why the Knicks right now are up 3-1 in a series that they could possibly be down 3-1 in.
I'm glad you brought up Jalen. I was intrigued by the way he started the game. He started the game clearly trying to be a distributor and a playmaker, not trying to force anything. And the Knicks simply weren't making shots. I felt as if you looked at the way the Spurs played the last 12, 15 minutes of the game was identical to the way the Knicks played the first 12, 15 minutes of the game. In terms of execution, in terms of shot making, all of that. But Brunson was almost intentionally, it looked like, laying back and trying to get everybody involved. What did you make of that approach, considering that we've been waiting for Brunson to have the breakout game that he ultimately had?
He probably looked at film and realized how much coverage he was getting. And so one of the quickest ways to pull coverage off of you is to activate your teammates.
And it worked.
Yes.
Like, the defense on him down the stretch was not nearly as intense as, he was getting looks that he simply had not been getting, I'd say, prior to in the entire series.
So I used to tell Gilbert Arenas this, that in the beginning games all the time because obviously, before pre-knee injury, Gilbert was one of the best scorers in the league at that time. And I used to tell him, listen, if you want to be open late, find me early. And he kind of looked at me. I was like, don't know. I said, the guy guarding me doesn't want to see me get a quick 8 points because now it looks like, man, it looks like he ain't doing his job. Now, later on in the game, if you want to look me off and do whatever, that's fine. We want you to shoot those balls. But early on, listen, if you can, find me. Early on, get the ball to Kwame. I was like, listen, if Kwame's open, give it. If he drops it, he drops it. But just get him activated, get him going early. It's good for the team morale. It's good for him mentally. It's good for me mentally. But then at the same time, it's going to help you out because now later on in the game, that guy's going to remember he made 2, 3, 4 passes early on. Now they think they'll be playing you for both and you can get off your shot.
Don't you love it when you can make a case that is self-serving, but at the same time, it's right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is going to be valuable. Hey, get me the ball. Get me some shots. It'll be better for you down the line.
Help me. Help
you. Exactly right. I don't know whether you would say that this qualifies as the Karl-Anthony Towns who picked up dumb fouls, whether what happened to him in the first minute qualifies as that guy's head raising its, or that version of him raising its ugly head again. What did you make of the first 2 fouls?
The first foul, obviously, I would have liked him to just pull away, but it was a bang-bang play. I don't mind that one. And then the second foul, truthfully, I didn't even think was an offensive foul. I thought that that Victor stuck his hand in there, and I thought they could have let it go. Like, those aren't the fouls that I'm worried about.
It wasn't a foul on Wemby, though.
Yeah.
We can be clear on that?
Yeah, but I didn't think it was an offensive foul. But regardless, when I was worried about Karl-Anthony Towns picking up silly fouls in this series, it's the fouls that I've seen him pick up, especially in Minnesota, where he's running and jumping over somebody's back where it's a clear over the back. Or he's reaching on a guard in the backcourt and clearly hits their arm on a play that he's not going to make. How many times are you going to steal the ball from the other team's point guard 90 feet away from the basket? In this series, like if he's picked up some fouls here and there, they've been fouls that I can live with. I think Karl-Anthony Towns, even for the foul trouble he had, played a solid game. And even that shot he made down the stretch in the fourth quarter, I still don't know how he made that shot.
With the 3? The step back 3?
The 3. Then the shot, was it the third or fourth? I thought it was the fourth on that shot on the baseline where he's kind of like shoots like the little floater.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough shot. So like I said, man, the Knicks have had different guys step up, whether it was OG, whether it was Brunson. We saw Cat have some moments. We saw Landry Shamet have moments early in this series. And on the flip side, the Spurs, in those tough moments, they've had more questions than answers. And like I said, I can't tell you if it's from the coaching staff, if it's from some of their veteran players, their younger players. They've been struggling with execution when it matters the most.
The way the game started, I thought, you know what? The Spurs have identified the offensive flaws for the New York Knicks. And they are game planning to exploit those. We're going to make Josh Hart shoot.
Yep.
We're going to force him to be a scorer. Mitchell Robinson, like we're going to put him on the free throw line. We're going to play him off. We're going to do the hacka Mitch. I just felt like they were, and even Jalen Brunson in terms of just his size and where he wants to get to and all of that. I thought they executed that so flawlessly. What happened to all of that down the stretch?
It's weird because it's been a theme for this team for the last couple of playoff series. Who gets off the better starts in San Antonio?
Nobody.
Listen, they get off to yeah, exactly. They get off to great starts all the time, and then I had a coach tell me this: never get bored with success. And so a lot of times you'll watch them throwing the ball to Wemby and doing what they're supposed to do, and then it's like all of a sudden they get a lead and they start playing casual. They start the Knicks make a minor adjustment and they stop doing what they're supposed to do. They stop going after Jalen Brunson and pick and rolls. Like, it's like, hey man, like, nah. Hey, listen, dance with the girl that you brought. Hey, dance with your date. Dance with the girl that you came here with. The strategy that you use to get up 10, 15 to 20, stick with it. Don't get tired of seeing it work. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, if we've been throwing the ball inside the Wemby, don't start jacking up threes now, not unless they're wide open. And in the first half, even when they were getting threes, they were such quality looks.
Agreed. They
Like,
were off of penetration.
off of that's the thing. Like you got to make sure quality of shot is the most important thing you can have in the playoffs because you're going to miss shots, you're going to make shots, but the quality of those shots, that's what really matters. And sometimes with the Spurs, you see them start off getting great shot quality, and then next thing you know, you start seeing Castle or Fox and some of these other guys taking some shots, and you're like, huh? And then you start thinking to yourself, man, I ain't seen Wemby touch it in a minute. Then Wemby gets it, and you're like, whoa, I ain't like that jump shot he just took. It's just a bunch of things. The biggest way to sum it up is they look like a team making young basketball mistakes on the biggest stage.
Yeah. There was also Karl-Anthony Towns down the stretch. What do you give more credit to or explanation for in Wemby's not really being a factor in the fourth quarter? That he was settling, which I saw, or Karl-Anthony Towns, who was on him the majority of that last period, and I thought did a really good job.
Combination. I thought Cat did a really good job of playing Wemby and playing without fouling. And I thought that Wemby settled at times too. And so like I said, this is where your coaching staff has to help you out. When you're a young
no timeouts and
Exactly.
all of that.
Exactly.
I was shocked.
So this is when Mitch has to say, okay, listen, I see where my young player is floating to the perimeter. Timeout. I'm going to call a play, and I'm going to get Wemby right back here. And this is where we're going to get the ball to you. Or I might not even call a play directly for Wemby. I might just say, I'm going to run a mid pick and roll, and I want the action to be for Wemby getting downhill towards the rim. And then I'm giving, for my money, I'm giving Harper the read. Yo, we're going to come off this pick and roll. I want you to come off and get to the cup. If they stop you, throw it to the sky to the big fella. If the weak side comes over, that means you're making one pass to the corner. These are your three reads. I need one of these executed on this next play. That's how you win.
Yeah.
You give your young player the answer to the test. I'm gonna take it back to football. When Jared Goff used to play for the Rams, Sean McVay used to tell him the exact play to run or the exact what he saw before the play. And teams started figuring that out and then switched the coverage once they turned the headphones off because they turned the headphones off for like 15 seconds. But
Right.
Sean McVay would diagnose the play for Jared Goff and be like, hey, you should be looking here, here, and then here. And Jared Goff for the first part of that season looked like an MVP because of that. And that's what you got to do in basketball terms. You got to slow the game down for your young fella. Timeout. Young guys, we're going to run this play. And I want you looking for X, Y, and Z. It should be there. And we're going to start out with a double high pick and roll targeting Brunson. We're going to get downhill. And then these are our three keys. And you just make it simple. Yeah. Simplify it.
Yep.
That is a coaching skill. Simplifying the game plan for your young guys, especially in high leverage moments, that is a coaching skill. And it is not being implemented.
Agreed. So you're leaving the door open for the San Antonio Spurs to still potentially. It's not impossible, just highly improbable. Let's get that out there.
Yes.
What and we've talked about how each game is its own entity. There's not carryover. It's hard to imagine that there's not some kind of mark or carryover from losing a game this way. And we've talked about how psychologically you tell the team, and I'm sure they, going into game 5, hey, we were up 29. We were owning these guys for 2.5 quarters. We just need to extend that for 48 minutes and we'll be okay. And all we need to do is get one. All we need to do is get one because 3-2, plenty of teams have been at 3-2. And have won, maybe not plenty, but some. It's possible. But at this point, I guess the question is, does the way they lost game 4 not, or can it potentially impact the psychology of game 5?
Yes, it can. I'd be lying to you if I said it can't impact the psychology, but I would be also lying to you if I said it's definitely going to impact the psychology. This team is so young that I don't know if it's going to.
It's based on the way they've reacted so far. I agree with you. Normally I'd push back on that, but the truth is these Spurs are different than anything I've ever seen in the NBA Finals.
They've been in every single game.
They've led every single game.
Exactly. They've led in the fourth quarter at some point of every game that they've lost.
Yep.
Like, let's talk about that. Like, they've given up like 1-0. They've lost games where the Knicks score 107, like 105, 104. The Knicks haven't been running up the score on these guys in wins. It's not like the Knicks have been scoring 130. So, like, I'm not going to tell you that I think that the Spurs are going to win this series. But I also do know that if this team is capable of bouncing back and winning a game in San Antonio. Like like what happened in game 4 does not have to snowball into game 5. And I don't think any of us can tell you the answer to that because we haven't seen how listen, Castle's a winner, been winning in high school, won the championship in college. I don't know how he going to bounce back in this situation. I don't know how Wemby going to bounce back. I don't know how Harper's going to bounce back. I haven't seen these guys. These guys don't have a James Harden type resume where I'm like, yeah, we know this guy ain't bouncing back. Like, these guys don't have a resume to prove that they will or they won't. So we got to watch it in real time. I would be lying to you if I said, it's over in 5. Nah, if I had to bet my money, I would actually say probably Knicks in 6.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, they outplayed the Knicks both games in Madison Square Garden. They weren't scared of that environment at all to start the game off. So,
no, and as you bring this up, when I think about it, let's say they go back there and the Knicks have an opportunity to close it out in Madison Square Garden. We've already seen that atmosphere to this point. This goes to another level. And that atmosphere has impacted the Knicks negatively far, far more than it has the San Antonio Spurs.
Listen,
so
both games in Madison Square Garden, the Knicks came out and they looked like the road team. They looked like the team that was shook because it was Celebrity Row had more celebrities than usual and the building was incredibly loud.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, that's what it looked like. The Spurs have come out and they haven't been distracted by it's the Mecca of basketball. Listen, when they start the game out, the Spurs ain't worried about none of that.
Nope.
They get off to a quicker start than anybody. And so, like, I can't sit here and tell you for sure, it's over. Listen, if someone said, Brendan, you got to bet $100, put my money on the Knicks. But if they say, guarantee me it's over, I wouldn't do that. Yep. You see strange things in sports.
Yep. I see the Spurs walking in just in their pregame fits. And I'm like, these guys, this is just a regular season. They don't even know the atmosphere. Like, you're in New York, right? You're in the finals. Usually dudes are dressing out, right? They're coming up with some finery. These dudes are walking in casual. They look like Sunday morning, I'm going to brunch. They are not affected. I don't want to say they're not aware, but they're not affected by the atmosphere of the finals at all. And that is the strangest thing I've ever seen. It's okay if you have one or two guys like that. I feel like that entire team is not at all impacted by, like, yeah, we're supposed to be here. Yeah, this is just another game. We're good. And that's worked for and against them. Right. Because I think that if they had a little more understanding of what is at stake or what the possibilities are, they might play with a little more execution down the stretch. There might be, like, we don't always have to play great, but we always have to play smart.
Right. That's the thing. I don't think they're impacted by the moment is to start the game out. But I do think they're impacted by the moment to end the games. And that's the most disturbing trend. To start the game out, they're playing free, they're playing loose. Hey, they're hitting threes, they're throwing up the 3-point sign.
15 out of 20.
they're having a great
At the beginning.
To start the game out, they're having a great time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the game gets close. And now you start to see the youth. That was a bad shot. Now you start to see a little bit of the inexperience. Hey, why wouldn't be taking multiple threes right there? Hey, I haven't seen a Wemby lob pass in the last 3 minutes.
In a minute. Yep.
Hey, man, they're just playing one-on-one ball now. Whatever happened to attacking Jalen Brunson? Where them plays at? And so that is why I've been saying this all podcast, and I've been saying it all series. This is a team that has been playing young, and their coaching staff has not been helping them enough. Yep. A young team needs more help than a veteran team. A veteran team has been here before. They can play their way out of it. The veteran teams come to the huddle and they tell the coaches what they see. Yo, they've been playing this. We should make this adjust. Young teams just be out there going, and they're playing on instinct. But then sometimes when their instincts are wrong, the eyes get big. My instinct said to take this three, but that was a really bad shot, and I bricked it, and it led to a fast break the other way.
Yep. Or the opponent throws a wrinkle at them, and they're like, now I got to stop and think about this. Too late. If you're thinking, you're losing.
If you're thinking, you're sinking. That's the problem.
Yep. All right. That does it. For all those who joined us, thank you for joining us.
Hold on, before you close out.
Okay.
I said I think the Spurs are going to win Game 5. What say you? Who do you have winning Game 5?
I have the Spurs winning Game 5.
All right. Knicks and 6.
Yeah.
Knicks and 6.
That's what I'm expecting. Knicks and 6. If you're a Knicks fan, you do not want it to go to a Game 7.
Oh, no. First, and listen, we just watched the Spurs win a Game 7 in OKC. You damn sure don't want them to have a Game 7 in San Antonio. If you're the Knicks, and what they say, don't play with your food. Knock them out in Game 5. Knock them out in Game 6.
Yep.
Hey, listen, don't play with your food.
Can't even imagine the pressure after everything. All right. Well, maybe we won't have to imagine it. For all those who joined us, thank you very much. For those that are watching the recording, leave a comment, let us know. And for those that are listening, rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. We will join you again after Game 5 to see if there's going to be a Game 6. Or we're going to be talking about the New York Knicks as
when's Game 5? Game 5 Saturday?
I believe so. Is that correct? We should know that.
Yes.
I'm living my life day to day, Brendan. I try not to look too far ahead.
That sounds well.
Yeah.
that sounds like the San Antonio Spurs coaching staff in the game. They just live and play to play. They ain't looking too far. They're not looking too far ahead.
Fair enough. All right, we're out. I'll see you after Game 5.